Hello, it's Fred from PickleballGuys, and today I'm going to be reviewing Selkirk's Luxx Control Air pickleball paddles. These paddles come in Selkirk's three familiar shapes. You have the S2, the Invicta, and Epic, as well as three eye-catching color cosmetics within each model, giving you a choice of red, blue, or gold. What makes these paddles so unique is the fact that they are 20 millimeters thick. They're edgeless with a flex foam perimeter adding weight, increasing durability and absorbing vibration, but they also share a similar aerodynamic cutout design to Selkirk's other high-end paddle series, the Vanguard Power Air. However, unlike the Power Air, the Luxx Control Air has been upgraded with a proprietary blend of carbon fiber, offering even more control. Now, let's break down the shape variants for those who might not be familiar with them. The S2 is the wide body variant with a paddle width of 8.25 inches, a paddle length of 15.7 inches, and a shorter handle length of 4.5 inches, and a weight ranging between 8.1 and 8.5 ounces. The Invicta is the elongated variant with a paddle width of 7.5 inches, a paddle length of 16.45 inches, a longer handle length of 5.35 inches, and a weight ranging between 7.8 and 8.1 ounces. The Epic finds a balance between the S2 and Invicta shapes, with a paddle width of 7.9 inches, a paddle length of 16 inches, and a handle length of 5.25 inches, and a weight ranging between 7.9 and 8.3 ounces. Now, I've had some time to test out all three shape variants of the Luxx Control Air, so let's get into what I would rate these paddles in terms of power, control, spin, and maneuverability. Given how thick these paddles are, I wasn't expecting too much power. The Epic was the first paddle I tried out, and it felt incredibly soft. The S2 didn't feel any different in this regard. Maybe it had a tiny bit more power since it had slightly more weight to it, but I honestly couldn't tell. However, the Invicta did provide some decent power, and that is likely attributed to its elongated shape. After having tried all three, when it comes down to power, I would give both the S2 and the Epic a 6.5 out of 10, while I would give the Invicta a 7 out of 10 in terms of power. What these paddles lacked in power, they will certainly make up for throughout these next categories. As expected, these 20 millimeter thick paddles absorbed a lot of energy. We performed some tests on these paddles, and we were especially curious to see what their face deflection reading would be. All three paddles showed the same face deflection of 0.03 millimeters. Now, for reference, the USA Pickleball Association approves paddles with face deflections that are either equal to or less than 0.127 millimeters or 0.005 inches. So, at 0.03 millimeters or 0.001 inches, which is 1/1000th of an inch, these paddles are fairly stiff given how thick their cores are. This would explain why we didn't get as much power out of them, since there wasn't very much elastic energy or trampoline effect returning on velocity to the ball. Most of the ball's energy was being absorbed by the paddle. This helps for control, and while hitting my shots, I could really feel the ball on the paddle face having some extra dwell time. There was no vibration, and I felt like I could direct the ball exactly where I wanted it. These paddles are excellent for resetting the rally or playing close to the net in and around the kitchen area. I would give the S2, the Epic, and the Invicta paddle a 10 out of 10 in terms of control. The Luxx Control Air series might be our new pick for the top control paddle. When I played around with spin, I found that all three paddles perform beautifully. Selkirk's Floret carbon fiber surface incorporates a grip paint that gives it an abrasive texture to help bite into the ball. Now, just like any paddle using grip paint, this will likely wear down a little over time from heavy use. But thankfully, the dwell time that you get with the ball will ultimately allow for your spin to be implemented consistently long after the grip paint becomes worn down. I would give both the S2 and Epic a 9.5 out of 10, and the Invicta a 10 out of 10 in terms of spin. The Invicta has more access to spin due to its elongated shape, so it claims a perfect score. But all three are incredible for spin. The Luxx Control Air series are on the heavier side when it comes to pickleball paddles, and yet I still find them very maneuverable, and this is likely due to the aerodynamic throat and edgeless design that allows it to move through the air with less resistance. The S2 had a bit more weight to it in its head, but has the largest sweet spot out of the three, while the Invicta will on average be the lightest option with more reach and length along its surface to play with. And then the Epic is comfortably in the middle of those two. I've played with plenty of heavy paddles before, and these feel faster through the air than any of them. So considering their thickness and weights, I would give the S2, the Epic, and the Invicta an 8.5 out of 10 in terms of maneuverability. I was really excited for these paddles to come in, and I'm glad I got to test them out. The Selkirk Luxx Control Air series certainly performed well and lived up to their name. If you're looking for more control and feel, these paddles are a top choice. Personally, I was a little underwhelmed by the power they provide, given that they share similar designs to the Vanguard Power Air series, but I suppose that was the intention. They are control paddles after all. The Invicta was certainly my favorite, having a bit more power and spin potential, but if you want an even larger sweet spot, then you'll want either the Epic or the S2. I would recommend these paddles to advanced players who can already generate some solid power from their swings and are looking for more touch, feel, and spin capabilities. Or to anyone who wants to look good out on the court while they place the ball exactly where they want. Let's face it, these paddles look pretty luxurious and they'll bring some confidence to your game simply by having one in your hand. Thank you for watching. Please let us know in the comments if you have any questions or if there are any other products you would like to see us review in the future. The Selkirk Luxx Control Air pickleball paddles are available at pickleballguys.ca or pickleballguys.com. Come check us out.